Ever feel like you just can't keep up anymore? Like the world is changing faster than you can even process? Well, you're not wrong. We're living through this tidal wave of new technology that isn't just changing one or two things. It's changing everything, all at once. Some people are calling it the everything change.
And this quote from Shelley Palmer, it just nails it. For most of history, progress was like walking down a straight road. Predictable. But now, we're on an exponential curve. It's like that road just turned into a rocket launch. The future isn't just on its way, it's blowing right past us before we can even figure out how to adapt.
You know, for the longest time, we had this neat little box we put all the crazy ideas into. We called it science fiction. Well, that box has completely burst open. We're talking about gene editing, artificial intelligence, plugging computers into our brains. This isn't stuff for movies anymore. This is what's in the news today. And honestly, understanding it is not really optional anymore.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, let's just take a quick snapshot of where we are right now. Welcome to what we can only call the sci-fi present. So why does it feel like all this stuff just appeared out of nowhere? There's this great metaphor of a bamboo forest that explains it perfectly. You see, for years, nothing seems to be happening on the surface. But underneath, there's this massive, complicated root system spreading everywhere, totally out of sight. And then, boom, seemingly overnight, the shoots just explode upwards. That's exactly what's happening with tech today. Decades of quiet research are now bursting into the open, and they're changing the whole world. And of all those bamboo shoots that have just burst through the ground, the biggest, fastest growing one, well, you already know what it is. It's artificial intelligence. It is the thing pushing everything forward so fast. Just check out this speculative timeline from some AI researchers. It shows the insane speed we're talking about. We start in mid-2025 with a kind of clunky, unreliable personal assistant. Okay, but by late 2027, that's just 2.5 years later, we could have an AI that's cranking out a year's worth of progress every single week. That's not just faster, that's a completely different reality of innovation.
And this isn't some far-off abstract idea. It's affecting us right now. Just like at US elections. Back in 2016, disinformation was mostly some pretty basic text posts and memes on Facebook. Now, fast forward to 2024, we're talking hyper-realistic deepfakes, fake audio clips, all over every platform, coming from multiple countries. The jump in just 8 years is staggering.
But here's the thing. As wild as AI is, it's not the whole story. The everything change is also happening on a much deeper level, where our digital world starts to merge with our actual biology. They call this biodigital convergence, and it's really a two-way street. On the one hand, we're putting technology into our bodies. I mean, think pacemakers, but also way more advanced stuff. But at the same time, we're looking at biological systems, things perfected over millions of years of evolution, and using them to build revolutionary new technologies.
And make no mistake, this world is already here. We can literally edit DNA with pinpoint accuracy. We can build things atom by atom. You can have a student growing a liver for their puppy as a school project. You could paint your couch with a special treatment so it rejuvenates itself. This isn't science fiction. This is the world we're building right now.
So if the world outside of us is being completely reshaped by AI, and our internal biological world is literally merging with technology, what does that do to the one thing we always thought was solid? What does it do to our perception of reality itself?
This brings us to a really interesting concept from philosophy called ontological shock. Now, ontology is just the study of what's real, the nature of being. So ontological shock is that disorienting, maybe even traumatic feeling you get when you realize your fundamental understanding of reality is just wrong. It's that moment the floor drops out from under you. And it's a feeling a lot more people might be having soon.
You can actually see this kind of shock happening in real time online. People are asking questions that would have sounded absolutely crazy just a few years ago, like are there non-human intelligences or NHIs already interacting with us online?
And this comment from a Reddit user is, well, it's hilarious, but it's also profound. In a world full of bots, deepfakes, and just generally strange online behavior, the lines have gotten so blurry that telling the difference between a potential alien and a regular human troll has become a legitimate question.
And of course, the speculation goes even deeper. Some people argue that a truly advanced intelligence wouldn't even need our clunky internet. They could just interface directly with our consciousness. I know, it's a wild idea, but it shows just how far people are pushing the boundaries of what they even consider possible anymore.
Now, before you dismiss all of this as pure fantasy, consider this data point. For decades, scientists have been running these controlled, peer-reviewed studies called Ganzfeld experiments to test for things like telepathy. A major analysis of all these studies found that the statistical odds of the results just being a coincidence are 11.6 trillion to 1. Now, that doesn't prove telepathy exists, but it is a scientific result that directly challenges our normal everyday view of reality.
So we've seen how this exponential tech and this biodigital merge are starting to shake our fundamental perception of reality. And all of this brings us to one final huge question.
I mean, when technology can generate realities that are totally indistinguishable from our own, and when biology itself becomes programmable, we inevitably arrive here. At the simulation hypothesis, the idea that maybe our entire existence is just a highly advanced simulation. It sounds like something out of a movie, but it's the logical, mind-bending endpoint of the path we are on.
And so, this all leaves us with just one question. As technology dissolves the boundaries between real and artificial, biological and digital, fact and fiction, are you ready for what comes next? Are you, fundamentally, ontologically ready?